Anime, Dead Mount Death Play. Moving on to episode 2, a flashback of the corpse god's past is shown. As the owner of the cursed eye, he couldn't live peacefully. When he was young, his parents sold him to the kingdom sorcerers. He descended into the battlefield as a necromancer. After the kingdom that bought him was destroyed, he sought a peaceful and comfortable life. He went into hiding in a cave and discovered several orphan children. At first, he observed them and secretly provided them with food while they slept. After a few days, the children became curious about the source of the food and eventually discovered the corpse god. Despite his skeletal appearance, the children were still willing to be his friends. The corpse god only desired tranquility in his life. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. The kingdom's forces found the cave and deemed the children under the influence of the necromancer. The children were brutally killed under the pretense of saving them. The more the corpse god desired peace, the further it drifted away. He sought revenge for their actions and tormented them for hundreds of years. Whether it was due to the tortured cries or the necromancer's magic, the hidden cave gradually turned into a labyrinth filled with living corpses. Despite it all, he continued to yearn for tranquility, patiently waiting for someone to come and kill him. The awaited person finally arrived, Shagrua. And so, the corpse god successfully performed the reincarnation magic. That's why he cannot simply die in this new body, Polka. However, he didn't expect to kill Misaki instantly with just one stab to her abdomen. Polka is surprised and wonders why Misaki didn't have any healing potions. It's a pity that he killed Misaki before being able to interrogate her. Polka's life won't be peaceful if his comrade, Misaki, hunts him down upon discovering that he killed her. Meanwhile, Kuruya, who has been observing Polka through drones and CCTV, thinks he's gone crazy when he sees Polka produce a skull seemingly out of nowhere. He then receives a call from Clarissa, inquiring why Kuruya and Misaki are taking so long with their task. Kuruya explains they are facing an unimaginable problem and sends the video evidence to Clarissa. Kuruya wants to know Clarissa's opinion on the footage. Is it his mind that has gone mad, or is Shinjuku City just too insane? After that, a flashback of Misaki's past is shown. When she was young, Misaki often smiled and was dearly loved by her parents. However, one day, her parents were killed right in front of her. As she grew up, Misaki became an assassin known as Zaki the Killer. She had the opportunity to kill the person who took her parents' lives. They were actually both underlings of Clarissa, but Misaki was ordered to kill that person because they had been killing unrelated individuals too frequently. Now the tables have turned, and Misaki finds joy in killing, just as the person who killed her parents found joy in it. She states that her goal is not revenge. In fact, when that person killed her parents, Misaki became curious if killing people was truly enjoyable. She currently derives great pleasure from killing other assassins. However, she is uncertain if she will be happy when killing innocent people as well. After being curious about it, Misaki wants to take a job to kill Polka. Clarissa has already stated that Polka is just an ordinary child, not an assassin. However, Misaki still wants to do it out of curiosity to kill a good person. She wants to determine the extent of her own psychopathy. And that's how the events unfold, leading to Polka's death. Misaki finally becomes convinced that she can kill both evil and good people. She believes that someone as insane as her doesn't deserve to live. If she continues to live, many people will suffer. Therefore, Misaki wants to kill herself because that is the only thing she has never done before. Just as Misaki is about to jump to her death, she receives a call from Kuruya, causing her to change her mind. Misaki protests to Kuruya for ruining the climax of her life. Kuruya already knew about it because he saw her through the drone. He advises her that before wanting to die, she should finish her task first. Kuruya reveals that Polka, whom she had already slit the throat of, is still able to walk and live. The story continues as in episode 1. When Misaki regains consciousness, she remembers that she was killed, but wonders why she can still wake up. It turns out that Polka resurrected Misaki using his necromancer magic. Her stabbed abdomen has healed. However, they are no longer alone in the room. Clarissa and her troops have already surrounded Polka with their weapons pointed at him. When Clarissa touches Misaki, it becomes clear that her body has become cold and her pulse has stopped. She can be considered a zombie. The scene transitions to introduce Kuruya Takumi. He is a businessman who gathers information through the internet and drones. Of course, his drone is illegal. Kuruya also assists hired killers in hiding the bodies they kill. In reality, he wants to live a low-profile life, but it seems that the appearance of the corpse god won't allow him to do so. While Polka was still performing resurrection magic on Misaki, the Clarissa group arrived to meet Polka. They were naturally shocked to see a magical circle with bones appearing. Moreover, there was a drone that could fly without propellers or sound. The drone belonged to Kuruya, which Polka had just damaged. Seeing Polka perform magic, Kuruya was certain that it was not a visual effect created by him. Perhaps Polka's explanation sounded somewhat ridiculous, considering that the existence of magic was very thin in that world. Polka herself was also surprised why no one knew about magic. She asked if no one could use magic or spirit incantations in this land. Polka was the first person they knew who could use magic. Polka then retracted her magic and claimed that what they had seen was just an illusion. Clarissa, of course, was not fooled. However, Polka threatened them to forget everything they had seen. Clarissa asked for some time to think. Even so, Polka herself was not sure if her magic was enough to defeat them all and escape. From the room, they heard an ambulance siren. According to Kuruya's information, there was a fire in the Shakuzawa building, near where Polka and Clarissa were. Clarissa was concerned about the children there, but at the moment, they could only leave it to the firefighters. Polka peeked at CCTV footage from Kuruya using her magic eyeball. Polka asked about the children she had mentioned. In that building, there was an unofficial kindergarten. The kindergarten was built to take care of children who had lost their parents, who worked in forbidden fields. Polka wanted Clarissa to take her to that building. Clarissa asked why Polka cared. Polka replied that she had been burned many times before. The pain was not something young children should experience. Clarissa accepted Polka's request and instructed Kuruya to lead them to the building. Polka began to make her way to the building, using her magic to swing from one place to another. Upon reaching the front of the building, Polka used her clairvoyance eye to detect the children still trapped inside. Polka continued to use her bone magic to jump into the building, even though there were many residents and firefighters around. Fortunately, no one noticed when she used magic. Inside, Polka communicated with the spirits of the trapped children's parents. Polka asked for their help. Polka used her magic to transform a part of the building into bones. The spirits of the parents were then placed within the bones so they could move freely. They carried their respective children and guided them towards the windows. Some residents in front of the building realized something was amiss when they saw a skeletal figure in the midst of the fire. The children were finally rescued with the help of Polka's giant bone. Some witnesses recorded the incident. Although the children were safe, the bones that saved them went viral on social media. Kuruya became confused by Polka's actions. Initially, she treated Misaki's life like a toy, but now she was saving children. Her thinking was incomprehensible. Kuruya suggested that Clarissa should not get involved with Polka. After successfully rescuing the children, Polka and Kuruya's drone returned to Misaki's location. And at that moment, Misaki came back to life, just as in the previous scene. Polka was surprised to learn that there were still suffering children in a country with advanced civilization. She continued to wonder how to achieve tranquility in this land. Clarissa didn't understand the kind of tranquility Polka was referring to. For her, the essential thing needed to live in peace was money. Polka was disappointed because it seemed no different from the previous world. Clarissa then asked what Polka intended to do in this city. Polka replied that she wanted to find money if she was the only one who could use necromancer magic. That way, she could gain power and a place of refuge to live peacefully. Upon hearing this, Clarissa offered her assistance in realizing Polka's goals. Clarissa introduced herself as Karaki Lisa, a mediator in Shinjuku City. Of course, she was aware that the soul within that body was not the real Polka. Clarissa was willing to be the intermediary who had come from a distant world to the city. She could instruct her subordinates to help Polka adapt to her current situation. Specifically, the subordinates referred to were Misaki and Kuruya. In the final episode, Kuruya had been listening to Clarissa and Polka's conversation through his drone. Upon hearing Clarissa commanding him and Misaki to assist Polka in adapting, he no longer understood how things had turned out this way and resigned himself to it. This is the end of episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss part 3 of this series recap.